There he is. Smoked, dude. Spot. Look at how he ate that coal shad. Little guy. Swallowed it. We'll break down the gear for a glide bait and a line through or harness style bait like that. And we'll tell you guys when I like to throw them because they are very specific and very unique and very different from each other. There he is. Largemouth. I think he's a largemouth. Little guy. Well, we got a little spot and a little largemouth so far on the coal shad. Oh, broke my rod right there. Look how good he ate that. Look at the hookers. Hey guys, today I'm going to break down for you the difference of a glide bait and a wire harness style bait or a line through style bait. Wire harness, line through, they kind of line up in the same family, but we're going to break those down for you so it's not confusing. So hopefully it can help you decide which one to pick up when, and you know, you can make those decisions on the water hopefully a whole lot easier after watching this video. So let's talk about the wire harness bait first, or line through style bait. Again, they have pretty much the same action, so I'm putting them in the same category. But this is a tail wagging bait. It's a straight retrieve. The bait's gonna swim, you know, really naturally looking back through the water. This is a 6-inch size. I don't throw a lot of 8 or 9-inch sizes. I'm a tournament fisherman and I love to get bit. So I stay away from the really big bait stuff, but I throw a lot of 5, 6, and 7-inch stuff. And as you saw in the beginning of this video, I mean, you can catch all size fish on this. You can catch 1.5 pound fish, you know, all the way up to those giants too, that other guys that you see guys catching on big baits. But this bait is going to be a bait that I cover a lot of water with. So this is not going to be a bait that I use. I can use it for an isolated cast, real specific cast, you know, down the side of the dock, something like that. But this is going to be a bait that I can put the trolling motor on high, 40, 50, cover a ton of water, and use this as a search tool. For me in practice, like in a tournament, I love throwing this bait because I don't necessarily have to catch the fish in practice. Of course, I'll cut my hooks, but even if they're following it, it gives me confidence that there's fish in that area. And both of these baits, a glide bait and this style bait, you're gonna get a lot of followers and fish are gonna kind of show themselves or present themselves. So you might be able to come back, you know, and finesse that fish into biting on a different bait, you know, different technique. But again, guys, this is your covering water technique right here, covering water swim bait, your line through style wire harness swim baits. Keep it really simple on rod selection. 7'6" heavy action rod, and I put it on a 6:7 to 1 gear ratio reel. So this allows me to slow the bait down if I want to, or I can keep up because it picks up about 27, 28 inches of line per turn. So I can keep up with the bait if I want to cover water. And then the last thing, these fish are not line shy. If they are targeting a big bait like that and they're looking at it and tracking it, 20 pound fluorocarbon. To me, it doesn't really make sense to throw anything less than that. 20 pound gives you all the advantage over the fish. So hopefully you don't break them off or you lose them. You can horse the fish in, you know, really crank them in with the heavier line. And of course, you know, like we have it on a 7.6 heavy, so it's a big rod. You can have a lot of power against that fish. Now a glide bait, like this guy right here, this is a 185 size. And this is more of an isolated cast type of bait is what I would say. It's much slower fishing. You cannot cover the same amount of water that you can with the line through or wire harness style, but this has a ton of drawing power. So if your goal is to see some fish or have a fish show itself, definitely have a great chance to see what's living by a piece of cover with this bait, whether that's a bridge piling, a dock, a big boulder, something like that. Especially if you have live scope, you can throw it past that piece of cover and bring it by it, and you're gonna see what's living there because they're gonna expose themselves when this bait comes by. They cannot help themselves but to come up and check it out. But again, this is a slow technique. This is not the technique you're gonna use to cover water and fish really fast. So I'll sit off a point. If I'm gonna make a couple casts with this, you know, off a point is a great spot. You're looking for the biggest fish off that point, and if they're gonna present themselves, they're gonna come after a bait like this. Again, you know, anytime you're by those pieces of structure, it's real isolated, you know, the shade down the side of a windy side of a dock or something like that. I mean, it's one cast. So this is a bait I'm gonna have on the deck, but I'm not gonna pick it up very often. Sometimes I might only make 5 to 20 casts with it throughout a day, but it's that really specific stuff where I believe there's a fish there and I wanna get that biggest one that's in there to come out and either eat it, hopefully eat it. We don't want to follow her in a tournament, but followers in practice are not a bad thing because it helps you learn and all of that. As far as gear goes on this, same line, 20-pound fluorocarbon, guys. Again, the fish are not shy of line when they're targeting and tracking that big bait. And then the same reel. This is a 6/7-to-1 reel, so it picks up 27, 28 inches per turn, allows you to keep that nice, slow, steady retrieve to get that S-waving action that you're gonna get out of a glide bait. And then as far as a rod, I don't throw these big glide baits, like I said. So for this size, you know, 6, 7-inch bait, I throw it on a 7'5" medium heavy moderate action rod. This is the winch rod from Abu Garcia. But hopefully this will help you make those decisions easier. It's fun to go out there and throw these baits. Like I said, you get a lot of followers, you get a lot of bites sometimes, but it can be intimidating too, knowing when to throw which one. So hopefully this helps you. And like always, guys, the gear is linked below if you want to check it out online, the stuff that I'm using. We appreciate you clicking on those links and checking it out if you want. And if I'm throwing it in a tournament like this stuff right here, I believe in it. I definitely know that it works and have a lot of confidence in this stuff. So if you guys want to check that out, it's linked below. But anyways, we appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a great day. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.